I have got some very exciting news for you today. We are out at the Miller GSPS Liberty plot. We got a lot of great flavors out here, and I'd like to share what we got going on. So today we got Nathan and Darren Miller. They're going to be joining me out here, bringing their John Deere combine. It's coming right down there, so they're probably already getting excited to go. So the plan here today is to cut 2,000 feet out of here, and we're gonna weigh every different variety. So we have some Pioneer varieties, DeKalb variety, and also we have a Invigor variety. So we got a lot of flavors of canola, a little bit of history on this field. It was wheat stubble last year. It was also seeded the 18th of May of 2023. So she's just getting excited to give her. She wants to get the plot off, and that's what we're about to do. So before we get tied or getting our teeth into this, we'll just give you a little bleep bloop of what varieties we have. The field was 350 Invigor. We'll be doing that one. It's right there. We're doing it first. Moving on to our new Pioneer Experimental. It doesn't really have a name, but we'll just call it 404-09. The next one's 516, going that way. P505 MSL. Next is another experimental, very excited about it, 226-09. I know those numbers mean nothing to you. Guess what? They don't mean anything to me either. So when they get a number, we'll be more excited. I'll be probably releasing that here by the time you're watching that. They'll have a number, so something to really look forward to. Next is our Pioneer P612 Liberty, and you guessed it, a DeKalb, of course. We have CRSE 84. So stay tuned. How's this plot gonna do? I have no idea. It got almost nothing for rain. It was very dry here in the valley. We're at the end of Ditch Road and Swan River, Highway 275. But the field looks good, so stay tuned. Let's go do some stuff. Lots of good data. I was hoping for 505 MSL to come out on top, or 612. Surprised by the results. 505 best in the field at 70.6 bushels to the acre. This has all been converted to 10% moisture. I was really expecting a little bit more to 612. It's done so well in the past in areas. At 65. Still pretty good, pretty happy with that. Especially when you take into consideration some of the competitors' varieties out there, which I wasn't really expecting these numbers to begin with. Being so dry out here, I was expecting like 50. So this is really a blessing to see. DeKalb CRSE 84 at 66 bushels to the acre. And the Invigor L350 PC went 65.6 bushels to the acre. And I know what you guys are thinking. Maybe you don't believe me, but I'm gonna tell you, we gave it the best shot that we could. That was the high number. We did two ways. The field was all 350 PC. That was the south side, right beside the DeKalb. And then on the north side, we did a weigh there as well. And that one came a couple bushels less, which I was surprised, because the experimental 516 and 505 were pretty much all rolling in the 70s. That's pretty good. Happy to see. Definitely worth the time to do this plot. I'd like to give Miller Farms a huge thank you for this. And stay tuned. We're gonna go on to plot number 2 tomorrow, as long as the rain doesn't happen, stays away. And that'll be the Liberty plot by Bozeman. So, hoping that one will get the same kind of results. Thank you. Hello everybody, welcome to field test day number 2. This is Liberty Plot again. I am your host, Terry James Schulman, GSPS Ltd. What we're doing here today, we have many different varieties of canola here. We're just going to take to weigh. It's approximately 2.1 acres. 2,366 feet, and collect the data from that with the old Yield Hero wagon. We are on Schulman Farms, just outside of Bozeman, Manitoba. So rainfall in this field was good, decent, kind of more normal. A little drier in June, but in July it got a few showers, which helped it out. Varieties. Let's talk about varieties just quick. Same as the Miller plot, really. All the same Pioneer varieties. But I've changed it up a little bit with some of the Invigors. I have some 234 Invigor in here, also some 255 PC, and the same decal, the CRSC 84. And as we go on here, you'll see all the Pioneer varieties. They're great. Expectations here, don't know. Which variety is going to be the winner? Will it be 505 like on Miller's? Stay tuned. Well, fellas, the data is in. Not really what I was hoping to see today. Like I said, this plot got a little more rain, so I was expecting the yields to be a little bit higher, but still in the 50s. You know, that's still a win. We have our different varieties here. The big takeaways would be the 505 and 612. They came in just shy of 50. That's okay. 505, right about that 50. And then the competitors' varieties. So it's never nice to have an L, but I'm going to show it anyway because the facts are the facts and you guys deserve the data. That's why I do this. So you got the decal came in at 52.8, 234 PC, 51.4, and good old 252. PC at 54.9. That was the winner on this field. Like I said, you can't win them all. We did Miller's. We got some great numbers there. And Pioneer had some nice wins. Today, we're just gonna, I guess, tuck our tail between our legs and that's the way she goes. Thanks, everyone. A little bit of questions in regards to Vasilium stripe. I just want to do a little bleep bloop here on what to look for in your field. Especially like this time of year when you're harvesting, it's pretty easy to see. It's just going to be lodged right over. The stem's just going to get kinked right off. You know, that could be from a few diseases, but we're really seeing Vasilium, wilt, or stripe, if you will, whichever you want to call it. This year for 2023, not terribly bad pressure in the Swan River Valley, so it's pretty sweet. Seen it definitely worse last year and the year prior. Anyway, what to look for, what to see in the plant itself. I got my little shears here, so I took the liberty finding a plant that was infected. It's not terrible, it's still finished okay, but it's definitely, there's some effects there. So first thing you're gonna see this time of year is striping of the stalk near the base, and you're gonna see that it's hollow like a drink straw. Like this one's not terrible. When it's really bad infection, it happens earlier yet. And this will be hollowed right out. And it just prematurely kills the plant off and doesn't allow it to set seed and finish properly. And you can see some pretty severe reductions in yield because of that. To check your fields earlier on, I start checking for blackleg and for Vasilium wilt around the end of August, a couple weeks into September. And what you're gonna do for that, get rid of this, you're gonna need some shears, not your pocket knife, shears. You need a nice clean cut. So you're just gonna grab the canola plant I'll show you, this one's infected here. I'll show you a little bit more. But you just grab the plant, pull it out from the base, and you take your shears and you cut it just here where it's coming out of the ground at the growing point where that, kind of where that ankle is. So cut it. You can see it's a hard cut. Well, this one, you can see some of it too. You see this starburst kind of pattern? The black goes out. This one you can kind of see it as well. If it's just black leg, it'd just be kind of just black. But it has these lines called a starburst around it. That's Facilium wilt. Both bad, both terrible, I don't know. That's fun facts with TJ. Well, fellas and fellettes, this is the third plot of 3. Finally done, all the plots are off. Kirsten can have a little less stress. Plots are always a lot of work, and a big thank you, I guess, first to all the Showman Farms. They did 2 plots, and they were great. And Miller Farms for doing a Liberty plot. That turned out really great too. Considering the year and the lack of rain, it's just so amazing to see these bushels that are coming off. In the 9 years that I've been doing GSPS and Yield Hero events, never had a year like this. Like, we have multiple 70 bushel acres in canola, and even a couple 80s. I have a few more yet to do in the paw, so I don't want to get too excited, but the boys up there are saying there's some pretty nice crops. We'll see how they do. So the plot data. Background on the plot, it was seeded May 30th on 10-inch spacing here. This field was super dirty. If you've been around the green paint store, you would have seen it in spring. It looked rough. It got shot with, I believe, 4 passes of glyphosate for weed control. And as you can see, there's still some undergrowth here, so there's a little bit of work to do. That being said, lighter soil, there is a little bit of Facilium wilt in this, and maybe I'll do a little bleep bloop and show you what I'm looking at when I talk about Facilium wilt, just so you know moving forward. And on that, we'll just talk about the yields and a little bit about these new products. So we have the old 44H44, held its own. It's a early mid-season maturity canola. Not really rated as a straight cut, but as you can see, it did pretty well. 515G, these new ones, all these new ones here, the G, and the G, stands for our optimum glyphosate. Seems really great. This is our first time growing it in the field. It stood really well. Pod drop, pod shatter was very impressive on the 511 and the 515, and they are rated to be a straight cut. And it was nice to see that they really seemed like they are. I took the plants and gave them a good shake out in the field, and they held up well. The 510, although not being a straight cut variety, did exceptionally good bushels, but there was some pod drop there, a little bit of shatter, and that's to be expected with a variety that's been sitting in the field as long as it is. It's October 9th, right? We had a week of rain, shut everything down, but that being said, it still held on well enough. Like, I shook it pretty good to see what it would do, and it still did okay. And next we have the decal varieties. My experiences with decal can be good and bad, just like anything. This year, watching social media and this plot here, they did good. I really can't say anything bad about them. The 901 True Flex, that looked good really all year, and it stood good. So that was nice to see they got something going for them. So right on, guys. Good job on the new 3rd gen. And the 98 CR, it's decent. It's been around a couple years. Can't say anything bad about it. It stood all right. And the 97 SCR, I did notice some pod drop and shatter when you gave her the old shake test. I tested them all, and those are the 2 that stand out the most in my mind, was the 97 SCR and the 510. Were kind of more comparable for dropping and shatter. I'm not going to say either way which is better. It's kind of a hard test to really perform, but it was noticeable. On that note, that's about it. Good plot. considering the year, dry, up in the 50s across from the green paint store. Great year. Thank you very much for all your business throughout the year. I hope you guys enjoy the winter, maybe a little relaxation. And now let's get on to something maybe a little bit more fun. Some Yield Hero prizes. Who's the winners? What are the prizes? You guys kind of already have a little bit of an idea, but nothing's decided until this moment right now in this room today. So, without further ado, I'd like to introduce myself to introduce the winners of the 2023 Yield Hero contest. Congratulations to everybody who participated, and after we'll do the seed draw away.